Nobody puts Jimmy in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're live.
Howdy, everybody. Welcome to Coffee and Ham Radio's Cafe Noir. We got our friend
You.
Ziggy way over there, and we're all using this green screen mess.
Over
But
there.
Except Chuck.
except Chuck. Well, try and get Grandpa to set up his green screen properly. We're gonna
He's
talk
got
about broken antennas, and Ziggy wants to fix all your broken antennas. I
Send them
think
to me, guys. I
it's
need
that
them.
Ziggy's new deal is to get an antenna and figure out what's wrong with it and figure out how to make it better
Well,
and all
not
kinds of
just
stuff.
that. I want to go on a stream with the antenna owner, and we can talk it out.
Kind of like what we did yesterday with the G5 RV.
That's exactly it. Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, get the guy that
Awesome.
owns it on, let him tell his whole spiel, and then let me put a polish on that thing, and then I'll send it back to him. I
Give it a
mean,
little spit shine, a little hawk
uh,
tour.
or maybe
oh boy.
maybe a complete rewrap.
So that antenna I said yesterday, that actually didn't have anything wrong with it. But what would you do?
What would I do?
Because there's
Sell
the
it.
Mr. ZS6BKW who took the G5 RV and made some improvements.
He adjusted the length, is what I would like to say. I don't think there's much you can do differently, but yeah, slightly different resonant points, I'm sure.
Yeah,
And from what I know from infeds, inches matter, so you could stretch the antenna out a little bit, and it'll change the entire thing on its
right.
face.
And it's actually like an infrared half wave is a good thing to talk about. Um, it's a little what is the band that you have trouble with? Is it 10 meters?
On the infed,
The typical 40-meter end-fed halfway, like 10 meters is the one that you got to add the coil for.
the alignment coil for 10, yeah, because 10 wants to be up in 29 megahertz land, and
Yeah.
and the coil will allow it to come back down to reasonable.
Yeah, so really a end-fed halfway, 40-meter end-fed halfway is good on 40, 20, 15, and not so much on 10 because it's just a hair outside of the harmonics.
Yeah, no, it's still good. I mean, you're only folding over, four times this way, which is
Right.
great. Yeah, instead of trying to slam, eight on a wire on a fundamental 80.
Hold on a second. Ape, you are really busy over there.
I am. So I got the condom off of it. This is the LCR meter where I drop something on it. See the screen's cracked,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
and so I'm doing surgery to take it apart to see how bad the repair. If I decide to take the screen off and try to fix it or any of that stuff.
I heard that bomber accent in that. I can't even reproduce that. I'm doing surgery.
Doing surgery,
Surge.
boy. So I got it almost all the way apart. Hopefully I'll be able to get it back together. But I might just decide. Hey, thank you, David Wilson. I might just decide that it's
Thanks,
not worth
David.
it.
David Wilson with the 14.99 Australian dollar due super sticker. Thank you, David.
David, appreciate it, man. Thank you.
David is an active member of the Toads Discord. There's a link at the top of the. You can't see where I'm pointing, but there's a link over there somewhere at the top of the chat for y'all to join us over on the Toads Discord. We'd be happy to have you over there. The friendliest
there.
place this side of QRZ.
Oh no, this is going to be a so. Oh no,
You broke
Oh
it.
yeah.
You broke
I didn't.
it.
I
You
didn't.
broke it.
I didn't break it, but look at this. This is why I was wondering it was so hard to see right here. This plug. I can't get my
Yeah.
finger. That's where it plugs into. See on the other side, and this has got no slop or slack in it. So I have no idea how I'm going to get that thing back together.
Did you just self-censor?
Maybe.
Get that thing back together?
Yeah, I was going to say this effing thing back together. So I might
Ryan's,
just made my life a million times worse.
Ryan's telling jokes in the chat. Ryan,
Tell us about
I
it,
don't know.
Ryan.
Right, Ziggy? Right?
Bravo, sir. Bravo. No,
So,
I think it's a great concept. That would, I would be able to, get people, on YouTube as a guest, do a stream with them, and we get to talk about. And we all know that there's some antennas out there in the wild that get sold.
Right.
Everybody's got a story, so I just thought it'd be great that I could have this huge community interaction, and then hopefully try to rectify it and send it back to them, and maybe they can not feel so bad.
Nice.
I personally am a little grifted about a
Right,
few
Hollywood?
antennas that I've purchased.
Hey, Hollywood.
So let's talk about one of them. You don't need to name a name, but you can give us its characteristics if you want to protect the guilty.
Okay. Well, so I mean, I can say this one outlandishly because nobody cares about this one. It's the Comet GP1. I
think I have that.
just
Oh, look at Ape. You just hurt his feelings.
You're talking about the 2 meter, 70 centimeter antenna with the
Yeah.
ground radials on it or whatever?
yeah. It's a great antenna, but I mean, it's a good antenna, but it's not great. And a lot of people that I know that have one recently, my buddy, his GP3 completely filled up with water, and I go, why is this a problem? And then recently, I think mine is starting to fill up with water now too. So I don't understand, with all the technology that we have, we can't keep water out of a tube.
I've never used this antenna that I've built and sold to you, therefore I don't know that it has these problems.
Mine is the
So-
GP3.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that one doesn't get soaked. TC
Well,
Fitz,
he just said his did.
he sent us a 112-degree super chat. Thank you very much, TC.
Yeah,
Stay
TC.
cool, my
Thanks,
friend.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks, TC.
Thanks, TC.
Yeah, no, my buddy's got a GP3 and his filled up with water, and he had me going bananas over here at my shack, saying that I was the problem.
Well, you
tore-
are, but
I
not
tore
for that
my-
reason.
I tore my shack completely apart and tore everything out of the house, trying to figure out why we couldn't talk to each other on 2 meters. It was
Well,
because
that's
his antenna was
a
full of
typical
water.
ham though to blame the other person, right?
It's
Right.
not me. It's not me.
The Shaggy defense. It wasn't me.
It must be
It
you.
wasn't
I'm
me.
like, he's like, you and all that solar, and I'm like, yeah, well, you're probably right.
right. That solar boy, it done shorted your bulb.
Let's see. Another one. The outlandish claims of the random transformer community. 6 through 160, right?
The not so random wire.
The very specific wire. Yeah, those antennas.
Are you getting closer?
Yeah, but I just don't know how I'm going to get this piece out.
I bet it's glued.
I bet it's cool.
Oh, it's not even
Oh,
the screen that's broken. It's the glass.
Yeah. So I mean, the couple things. One, I could deal with it. The other one is I could probably pop that out, but of course it's not square. So like replacing that's going to be the worst thing in the world. I should just buy another one, right? And put this
Oh,
in
look,
the
little
box.
Ziggy's here.
Hey,
Ziggy Jr.
He wants to show off his little kitten.
Nice.
Yeah.
Don is saying the G0 GSF antenna is an improved version of the ZS6 BKW antenna, but somehow it's the same person,
Everybody's gonna get their call sign on that antenna. Is what it looks like.
right?
so what happened is that he released the first one he got a little too excited and released it early.
I'm right, you're wrong. Oh, wait, I'm wrong. I'm right, I'm wrong.
And I recently was given an antenna that was never even taken out of the bag because this gentleman bought 2 of them and gave one to his best friend, and they were over at their house together, and they were trying to set up one of the kits, and the install instructions, I read over them today. They are so complicated. I'm like very intimidated. I'm intimidated about putting
out.
up this antenna.
I can print you one.
But it's got to be clear.
Yeah, it'll be about that clear. Pretty damn close.
What, you're going to do it in TPU?
That doesn't look clear. Huh?
What are you going to print it in white, like one layer or something? and
Clear.
hope The best.
I got clear. I got clear PETG.
I'll
gotta
never
look
get
like
this thing back
Lexan.
together.
But I'm not gonna disclose like who made the antenna. I'm not gonna disclose, where it came from, or I'm not out here, emoji pooping on any companies,
I'm thinking we might have to do a mystery wind and send it to you. See how that turns out.
Nice.
I'll do it.
Ape is constantly sharing pictures of people's transformers that they've built. That
I was going to say,
like,
if we're going to send a mystery intended to Ziggy, I know which one we need to send.
Frank's?
We get Franks from him.
It's going to be a mystery. Now you done told it, man.
Oh, yeah, it's a mystery. I think he's seen the picture already.
I was going to say, if you've seen there's only one
I think
solder lump
he's
that's
seen the picture.
like that. Yeah.
All right.
So is this the Frank that has the cold soldering iron?
yes.
That's the one.
Okay.
That just keeps adding more cold solder.
I'll pay money for that.
Right. It's so it's
You want to
so
buy
hot,
that
it's
antenna?
cold.
Right?
It's a beautiful work of art.
Solder boogers everywhere.
There he is. He's in the chat, too.
Hey,
Yeah, and
Frank.
Lon's got a secret message for you, Ape. He says a glass plate should be able to duplicate that with no problems, and they're less expensive than you might think. And that is true. You just take that thing in and say, fix this, make me one, and they'll make you one.
Thank you,
Man.
Lon. I appreciate that.
Man, just take that damn thing out and slap it back together.
Just buy a
Window
like an
repair
iPhone
kit.
cover. Just
It's
a
gone.
cover for iPhone.
Yeah, I got it out. It's,
Look how
Well, he
clear
put
it
green
is.
tape on it. He put green tape on it. It's not gone.
No, here it is. Here's the problem
See,
is
that looks terrible.
the logo is on
the
this. So
logo.
now people are like, "Oh, you got the knockoff, boy." I don't know.
Like you
Just
care what people think.
Print your
or
own
what?
logo,
I've
like
seen
Randy
the videos.
does.
That solder
Go see a
blob's
cat
resident
video.
on 20 meters.
Nice.
Why can't you just put a phone, like one of those glass phone covers, screen covers on it?
I don't know, but I feel like I'm winning until I have to put this thing back together because it
Right.
doesn't look like it's going to be easy to get it back together.
Probably never going to work again.
We'll see.
Oh, he's starting to make repairs. He's starting to defend his honor.
Who?
He'd
Okay.
like
Pretty
to-
less.
Frank
No,
would like
he-
to make that antenna a respectable. Never mind.
He needed the solder for another project, so he knew where he was storing it all.
Yeah, he just needs a
Doc
solder
Brad.
sucker. And some heat.
Nice.
Thanks, Doc Brad.
Big Bama
Thank you,
Hamma
Doc
is anti-CB now, though.
I never was pro CB. I just explored
Son,
it.
when
for
you were
a couple
hanging around,
weeks.
when you was hanging around the truck stop,
I
probably in the
never-
bathroom,
Well,
you
that's what your mom.
He
told
went
me
there
to
for
meet
every.
her,
He went there
so, I
every
mean,
day
you know.
for like 2 weeks.
right,
While
and then
he
he
was
calls
on
me
the-
in a panic because he had a adapter problem.
Adapter.
They're saying that your microphone is on a little bit on the LaRue side, son.
Mine is.
Was he too
You're a
quiet?
little low.
I'll turn him up. Don't just stay put. Everybody stay calm. Edit mic settings. Try it now, Jim.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4.
Still.
How's that, Big John? So if somebody wants to send you an antenna, where they just contact you at ziggybuilds@gmail.com?
Yeah, shoot me an email. I use Pirate Ship, so you know, if it comes to it, you know, I can just send them a shipping label.
Oh, you're going to pay shipping. That's pretty nice of you. That's
Well,
going
it's
to make
gotta
it
get here somehow.
worth their while. Yeah. Now, if they're anywhere near Palaca, you can meet them down at the WeHo, the Waffle House,
At the Buc-ee's. Isn't there a Buc-ee's like right there at St.
No.
Augustine?
in Florida.
In St. Augustine, there's the Buc-ee's. Yeah.
How far is that from Palaca?
Frank, are you judging my video and audio quality?
Oh, shit.
Frank,
About 45 minutes up the road.
All right.
I'm gonna get comfy in this big chair. You,
Well,
you,
they
go ahead,
could meet
give
you-
Frank one fur.
We could meet you at Palaca Nut and Bolt.
Dude, I love that place. I swear to God, I feel like I'm robbing them every time I go in there.
Oh boy, we're gonna have a ham off. 2 hams enter, 1 ham
ham
leaves.
off?
I'm louder because I project.
the mixer hasn't changed, so unless somebody screws around with that,
You're pretty good now.
y'all didn't say nothing before the show. Let's see
ham
what
off.
StreamYard
I'm
is
sitting,
showing
I'm sitting
me.
in Dad's chair.
I've got it automatically adjusting mic volume on StreamYard.
And your
I'm
feet
usually
are off
about
the ground, right?
3/4 of the way.
Yep.
So
Yep. It's hilarious.
So yeah, so I think it would be pretty great. And it would be just endless content too. I mean, I'm really looking forward to like the
There's
worst of the worst.
so many bad antennas out there.
Oh, I'm crying to tears. I want them. I want it so bad.
Oh, Chuck's starting a trend. Turning off the green screen. There, is that better?
Whoa, hey.
Jim just slipped to Gymcom 4.
Jim's
Did you
just
guys
sitting here
mention
waiting
the
for
new
y'all to
store
do a
today?
show or
Did you
something.
mention the new show, the new store today? Thought we were.
Oh,
doing
we
that.
did not. Good idea, Chuck. So we have a new Coffee and Ham Radio's website set up for y'all. I'm going to go ahead and get that shared out. But first I got to load it.
I'm not muted anymore, but I was going on about was a lot of times hams will buy an antenna and they'll not know that it actually needs to be tuned when they get it. Right. Like, so a lot of times the antenna manufacturers will send you an antenna that needs to be shortened and folks will put it up and they'll be like, it ain't resonant on the resonant point. And then they subsequently have problems and then take it down and buy another antenna.
Well,
And we,
that's.
oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say that's funny because I've got a good friend that bought the Cha, the Impasse, and I go, he goes, it's resonant. I'm like, you're supposed to tune that antenna, don't you?
Right.
We had a guy on the show one time that was like, oh yeah, just use it. I'm like, you're supposed to tune it, dude. I mean, it's close. It's kind of like the Poseidon. It's close in places, but
I send all my NFEDs out way long. Way long.
Yeah, because you never know, right? It's better to send it long than to send it short.
Yeah, I'm always worrying about that too. That sounds like a tuner. What was that?
It wasn't me.
I don't know, something fell.
But the other one, I guess, what we forgot to mention because we've been forgetting everything is that our friend Ziggy here has started a YouTube channel.
Yes.
And there's a
was
link
so
at the beginning of the chat, and then
Yeah,
just
I
dropped
lied
it.
earlier. I thought that was Toads, but I put the Ziggy Builds channel, the 75 ohm ham
Yeah.
link up there.
So go over and give him a sub so he can get to his live stream on.
Man,
He needs to get
I'm almost
50
there.
subs. Yep. We doubled his subs the other day. He went from
sure
went from
did.
7 to 14.
Love you guys.
So this is a new website that we are working on. Jim has done 99.99992% of the work. I did the other 0.00008%.
You put the subscribe to our emails right there.
I did. That's the
No, I
important
made him do all the tax money crap. So when it dicks up, I'm not involved in that in any way.
part, right?
Oh, it's got his.
I just
socialist
put
association.
pictures and crap on it. That's all I do. That's it. That's it. Chuck makes up
So
random numbers for me to put on it, and I'm done. I'm out.
We heard from the back office that we're going to have to raise the prices here pretty soon. So get them while you can. Get them while they're hot. And we just got a new order of 200 winders in, and the tax man has sent us a bill, and it was kind of ridiculous. So a little
Was that
crazy.
200?
A little crazy. It was 200 winders. Yeah. The tax
I
bill
didn't
was
count.
double that.
And you said you have plenty of wire for all that, right, Chuck?
I got like 3 or 4 boxes or cases.
What does that equate to
Cases.
in rolls of wire?
So
No
There's
idea.
at least
Frank-
like
Frank
30,
is-
30 or 30 to 50 in the
Frank is
in the
sharing
actual
out
original box.
a different website. That's the website to get the coffee. We haven't even talked about the coffee. We got the QRO high test. We got the morning net blend over on the hamradios.coffee site. So that's another place you can go. But this is coffeeandhamradios.com is where to get the antennas from.
Oh, so we have 2 sites?
We do.
I don't know what she's talking about.
Well, technically, we have
parts.
3 if you count the old one. Is that
Oh.
still accessible via the Square?
If you go to that wrong link that people kept giving out, yeah, it's still there, but you can't order anything. It says go here to coffeeandhamradios.com.
Y'all chase Ziggy off.
I got a
Yep.
bunch of videos that have it in it too, man. Dang it.
But why did you put the Square one in there?
Because he didn't listen to 46 times I told him to not do that.
He's getting old.
I know.
See,
Bless
he
his
doesn't even
heart.
know.
Bless his heart.
I got the
We
right
should enter
one
him
in
into a debate.
Yeah. And
I got the
whenever
right
we
one in.
close down the Square site, that URL for Square site is not going to work. But Steve has money stuff he needs to do with the Square site, so it's still going to be It's active.
around.
If you go there, it says go here, and I
here.
Oh,
zeroed
yeah.
out and I zeroed out all the inventory because some clever cleaver had a direct link to an antenna. I closed off the front door, but if you knew the
But
back
the back
links,
door was still open.
the back
Yep.
door was still wide open. So he went in there and ordered, and I'm like, "What? Quit ordering from here." So we filled that order. I just, yeah, I don't want to try and keep inventory.
We've
on
already
two
sold
sites.
off the new site, right? About
Yes.
Yeah, we
5 or
have.
6
Yeah.
already. About
2
5
or
or
3,
6
yeah.
already.
Vern's here. Howdy, Vern.
I had 2 today and 1 yesterday and a couple
That's
the other
3.
day.
Yeah, we've had 3. You've only gotten 3 off the new site. 2 were off the old site. The back door
the
entries.
ones you were talking about.
Yeah. But yeah, the new site. We had a couple of weird issues with it yesterday. The first issue was it was still in test mode. And so you couldn't actually order anything. And Steve fixed that. Because
So I got to tell you,
I don't have
this
admin
is-
privileges to fix that.
this is like the Yaesu Deep F menu of website
Yes, it
backends.
is.
There's 6 billion options, and
Mm-hmm.
they're not terribly intelligible, but we got it done.
Yep. And then the
Chuck's doing
shipping was giving us problems, and it was saying there was no way to ship to anywhere on this planet.
So you fixed that though. Now we can do completely international shipping, right?
Yes. So before our old site, without getting into the nuts and bolts, we didn't pay them enough money to let them do on-demand shipping pricing. So we could come close for continental United States shipping. That worked out okay. But we just made up a number and hoped that you didn't order anything that was going to cost more than that number, because then someone would complain about shipping costs. So on this new site, we have dynamic shipping. So it will actually charge you based on what method you want to ship it. If you want to overnight an antenna, Godspeed. You can do that.
Cow.
And you can order from all of Europe and Oceania.
It's $300 to overnight ship a $79 antenna.
So we
you
can
know,
finally expand to those markets that we wanted to expand to.
I'll tell you
Right.
guys right now,
Worldwide, baby.
do not do overnight, especially on a Saturday or a holiday.
because you're going to
It
pay
won't
for
matter.
that shipping, and that shit ain't going
It
nowhere.
ain't gonna happen.
Or if Chuck's been, and you're going to be out of town. We will not be shipping antennas until probably Wednesday now. Chuck, is that right?
Tuesday or Wednesday, yeah. Probably
You're getting
Wednesday.
back on Tuesday, so I figure you'll be sleeping off a hangover or something.
Where you going, Chuck?
I'm going to Jellystone.
Yeah,
Antioch.
Chuck and I are going to go hang out.
We're going to see
okay.
Yogi.
Okay.
Jody, no. I'm not messing with the customs people. No. And Don,
We
yes.
can do it. You won't get your antenna. We won't get you a refund.
Yeah. And Don, no, we are not shipping to Russia.
Because we're not allowed to.
I don't know. You can pick like Europe. You can pick areas. So I put Europe, which covers 5 or 10 antennas we've ever sold, and I put Oceania, which is VK, Australia, New Zealand, ZL. And
Well, it's
I
real
think
expensive.
it's
right?
very expensive. Australia is probably $35 to ship the antenna. Half the cost of the antenna is the shipping. And Canada's pretty dang expensive too. It's probably $22 for Canada shipping.
My
we
buddy
lose
did
that?
a little eBay purchase. I was like, man, that's a good deal for that transformer, and that guy's using PTFE wire. I'm like, dude, I could only make that for maybe a couple dollars more or less or whatever. And I was like, just go ahead and get that, and then we'll slap it in a box when it gets here. And he said, man, after shipping. Anyway, we didn't see it was coming from France or something like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoops.
It usually says.
It's
Yeah.
weird.
I could
the
have
way
made
they
it.
do
I could have made
shipping.
it cheaper now, but
It-
it's
it's-
on its way.
It's weird the way they do shipping, because shipping one antenna box, which the box that we send that Chuck has is 7x4x3 and weighs not quite a pound. And that's $6 continental United States. To Australia, it's $35 for not quite a pound in a 7x4x3 box. We sent Hayden some stuff last year after Dayton. We got together some things that we wanted to ship to him. It was $35 for a box that was considerably bigger than 7x4x3. So and weighed more. And I have no idea how they calculate that stuff. It's some sort of witchcraft. But yeah, we can now ship overseas easily. So
Excellent.
before it was all manual.
So nobody taught me the dark side of video editing. I was like, man, I'm gonna shoot a couple of videos on my phone and slap that into some free video editing software, and you know, bam. No, that's not how that works. All the video editing software companies, I swear, are just slightly scammeroony. I spent over an hour making a video, and then I learned at the very end that I couldn't export it because it was longer than a minute. I was like, oh, thanks.
Welcome to YouTube.
Kathy says Thursday now because I think that's probably the first day I'll actually be home to do something.
The boss has spoken.
And if you want me to send it Saturday, you better order it Friday because I only have till noon
Tomorrow.
And so that was the first software I tried, which I didn't know is what you use, Ape. The MOV AVI. Is that supposed to be a word?
Movavi.
Mojave, something like that.
I called it Mojave. So I really like that software. It's crazy easy to use, but obviously behind a paywall. So I moved on to Jersey Mike told me, just go get Power Director by Cyberlink. I'm like, Cyberlink? Wow, I remember that from high school. I downloaded
1990.
that. I downloaded that, and I was like, oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my. So I recreated the whole video in Power Director, and then what was the hiccup with Power Director?
It doesn't
water-
put a
the watermark.
The
on
watermark.
it?
We have big old like this big. It's huge.
Haven't
I
you
was
seen
like,
Jersey Mike's videos?
No.
Hey, his screen's on point after we
We
had
hand
harassed
shamed the
him?
crap out of him.
what
We
is
did.
that called? An intervention. We had intervention. with him.
Right.
Intervention night.
Right.
It looks really
Jersey
great.
Mike, we all love you. We just have something to say.
So Zig, and I don't know, I don't want this to become a political discussion. I use Adobe Rush. It's a subscription, but it's 10
Oh, they're
bucks
all
a,
subscription.
yeah, but it's $10 a month. And it
gotcha.
does everything you need for YouTube video editing.
So after the Mojave, I tried Power Director, and I was like, okay,
Mojave.
all right, one last time, and I'm like, Tio, what do I use?
KDen
He
Live,
said,
was that next?
no. Tio said
DaVinci Resolve.
DaVinci. So
Resolve,
I downloaded DaVinci Resolve, and man,
And your brain imploded?
I would rather cut my grass
There's
in my
a
field with a scythe.
learning curve. There's a learning
There's
curve.
no curve. There is no curve. The curve
There
is
was
this.
there was zero
this is the
curve,
curve. It's
with
straight
Mojave.
up.
I made the video the quickest without anything with Mojave. It was just crazy intuitive. So anyway, so here I am on my third go of making this video with DaVinci, and I learned that DaVinci Ape's like, I'm like, man, this DaVinci's run like crawling. And Ape's like, yeah, they limit you down to one thread unless you buy the full version.
Which is
Unless
not
you
the
have
case
Apple.
on the Macs. I
On
think,
the
Tio,
Mac side.
It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Macs have a problem with speed on the Mac.
Yeah.
It was. I thought something was wrong with me for a minute.
Bro.
I was losing my mind.
Well, there
Call
probably
me,
is. But
call me, or we can talk after the show, and I can demo Rush for you real quick. I'm telling you,
So
easy.
I'm bitter, right? And I start uninstalling all this software on my computer.
I've been bitter since 1990, so
And-
whatever.
And so I'm about to uninstall the Mojave software, and this retention application pops up as I'm trying to uninstall it, and they go, "Okay, how about half price for
which is
lifetime?"
I didn't know that trick, so I should have done it because I paid full price for it.
Yeah. Oh, you got
and
suckered.
I was like, oof, $40. Come on, man.
Thanks,
that for a
John.
year
Thanks
or
for
is that
standing up for
forever?
me.
That's lifetime.
John, you don't know all the grief that happens behind the scenes before and after.
He
the
earns every
shows.
minute of it. Every
Yeah.
minute of it.
Mhm.
All
I've seen his
day.
thumbnails.
Yes, he earns. Let's not talk about thumbnails.
No, because there's a certain Frank who makes thumbnails that aren't as good as Jim's. I won't say that out loud on the stream though.
Well, listen, since you brought it up and we're talking about Frank, it's like Frank, bro. It's like you put Finnegan's Wake on the thumbnail. Like I don't know how many of you are educated men, but the thing is that
Bravo.
right. But you got to trim that text, boy. Got to trim that text.
Frank, you're using too many words. The contrast is terrible. I've seen your photos. At least you say they're your photos, so I'm going to go with they're your photos. You could take some good pictures, some images. Let me say that in
Frank's going to
photographer speak.
unsub all of us after the stream.
You take some great images. They look fabulous. You understand apparently light and contrast, except when you're doing YouTube thumbnails. Frank, this
Oh
is
my
tough
God,
love,
I'm looking
buddy.
at his new one.
This is
The
intervention.
part in,
This
the
is
part in red.
intervention.
I can't
Do
see
we,
it.
do we need to
blown
share
up.
this?
Send
Do we
it
need to
to
share
me.
this on screen?
Send it. Send
Send
it.
it to
Frank
me.
shares it. Let's share it. Well, this is
I
Frank's
mean, it is
channel.
public after all.
Please
We're
subscribe
giving
to
Frank
him
some free advertising. Hang
so
on.
he can maybe learn to make thumbnails that don't suck donkey.
And we love Frank. Imagine if we didn't.
And
Yeah.
Frank is going to be on our Prime Day stream tomorrow with T.O.
Yep. It's not Prime Day tomorrow. I'm just giving stuff away.
It's not Prime
Oh, it's
Day.
just Steve giveaway day.
It's giveaway day. Yeah.
I'm feeling generous.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, Frank.
yeah,
I
I mean-
I just
Gotta
blew
say
it
it
up on
right,
32-inch screen, and I couldn't see.
Generous.
I couldn't even read the
Generous.
stuff in the red little box.
Too many words. Your contrast is horrible.
But
Horrible.
the problem
Look,
is
look.
that
Well,
And
look.
quit
look,
using
look,
Instagram filters.
the problem is,
Look.
is that people look at that on their phones, right? And that makes it that much more difficult for them to be interested in clicking.
Is
Now,
that
and I'm not a
text?
good thumbnail guy by any stretch of the imagination.
Better than me. Plus that
Well-
down some so we can simulate a mobile screen, Steve.
Right. Because this is actually zoomed in. Wrong direction.
Wrong direction,
direction.
Steve.
Yeah. So that's how it looks on your cell phone.
How many of these people are wearing
Nope,
denim
that's still too
jackets?
Well, I think Frank
There we
has
go.
been dipping into the AI trough there with that that one for sure.
Everybody's got denim jackets.
Right? They're at a Def Leppard concert in '87.
87, 80s day or something.
So real quick, back to the video. This video I made today was a minute and a half long or something. I recreated it in 3 different software 4 times. I about lost my mind.
That's as big as I can make it. And underneath the word upcoming, it says a whole bunch of other words too. I don't know.
Oh, I see that. Yeah, it's like call sign,
Hamstick Eric's talking about Clipchamp,
clip
which I think is part of Windows, if I remember right.
Windows, you have
So-
to have Windows 11 for Clipchamp.
Yeah.
So tonight on Coffee and Ham Radio's Roasts, we talk about Frank, Ham Radio Wilderness, KG6NLW. I'm running out of storage space. I am in the storage space.
I got to break out the forceps. Don't ask why I have these.
Man, those things aren't even dirty. The tips are clean.
Frank,
This is
just so you know, it's trying to be helpful, not me.
We are.
I don't see anything
'Cause we-
wrong with it. I mean, we all know it's free.
we're being helpful. Yes, helpful, what Chuck said. That was
Yes.
absolute right.
Trying to be helpful.
Frank, listen, I'm not very good at thumbnails, but there's like 3 magnitudes of difference between you and me. T.O. and Ape judge the crap. Chuck
Red-
judges the crap out of my thumbnails.
Red
so,
text
I
on
don't.
blue background.
You know what?
does not
You know what,
work,
Jim?
Jim.
I don't because I don't need to.
8 man,
Because
put on the
because
overhead so
There's
we can
enough.
see what
There's
you're
enough hate usually without me saying anything.
That's true. That is
So
true.
so I will say that because of all of this intervention that we're doing with Frank, he's earned the right to drop a link to his stream in the chat. I'll
Yeah,
give him
he
a
can
free
do that whenever-
tonight.
he can do that
already
whenever he
did.
wants.
He already did. He did that already. Before you even said it.
Oh, no, we talked about it backstage.
Okay. All right.
It's okay.
So Chuck and I, we were talking about that radio,
We were.
that beautiful radio in the background.
Oh, that one up there.
That one right there. I think you already found it before me. I'm sure you did. But anyway,
Oh, yeah.
he was talking about
For
recapping
multiple
it.
radios.
He was talking about recapping it. I told Chuck if he sent it to me, I would recap that thing for free. I consider stuff like that fun. Like that's
Well-
entertainment for me.
What Ziggy hasn't said is he's not sending it back.
Right.
No, it's
Just send me a radio. I'll recap it for free.
No,
Would they
it's
probably sell
definitely
it?
going back.
They probably sell
Yes.
a cap kit for it, right?
Klondike
do.
Mike. He's the
25
man.
bucks. $25.
Klondike Mike out of Canada, I think.
What radio is that,
25 bucks.
Chuck?
Well, it says
That is
Washington.
President Washington. Yes,
Nice.
Uniden.
The
it
silver
is
one?
not. It's unit made by Uniden, President Washington, and then it's not from what my expert repair guy that I used to. I don't even know if the guy's still alive or not, but he says it's not. It's like
Earl.
the second best version they made, according to him.
Second best. Old,
There was
old
there was
Earl in the back.
different versions of that one, and it's all got to do with the board that it's on. What is what makes it?
Go, old
So-
Earl,
some of
Earl
them-
in the back. Go and put the watts
Yeah,
up.
but that's supposed to be gold. Could use
Supposed
the
to be
gold.
ceramic.
Todd, sorry to hear that. A Hawaiian airline jet just crashed at HNL. Overshot the
Crashed or
runway.
rolled
Everybody-
off the runway, or
Overshot
Yeah.
they
the runway,
overshot
it
it.
says.
That's bad. Because I've
terrible.
only been in that airport once, and I don't remember what's at the ends of the runway.
Oh,
This is the battery.
Nice.
Finally got
Jody,
it out, huh?
Jody, Mom told me just not to say anything. If you ain't got
Right.
something nice to say, don't say nothing at all.
Right.
My mom says if she smacks me in the back of the head for saying something not nice. Like, thanks, Mom.
Right.
Love you too. Thank God Ziggy's wearing shorts.
Yeah.
See, I come
Cargo
from the
shorts like a real
I dare
ham.
you to say that again generation.
Right?
Well,
Say what?
we have boot. It boots up.
Oh.
Did you fix
What
the
did you
screen?
put? So you don't have a screen on it now? You just
Oh, I don't have
Naked.
that plexiglass. This is just the LCD that's
you
on there.
barebacking it?
Naked.
Okay.
Going in raw, son. And,
I hear
and
you.
so,
Red dog, go red dog.
and
I'm
so,
telling you, man. Just go get a cover for a phone and put it on there.
So I
that it?
ordered.
I don't know
while
if it's
y'all
gonna
were
be wide enough, Chuck.
while y'all were running your yaps. I ordered millimeter inch thick plexiglass sheets, 5 inches by 7 inches.
There you go.
And so what I'll do is I'll trace this on that sheet, and then I'll cut it out with a X-Acto knife. I'll buff it up with I'll put a little grinding wheel action on my Dremel, and we'll see what happens.
Put some rouge on it.
Something
And
like
then tape it off, paint the edges black, and freehand
Well,
whatever
I
it
don't know
says
if I'm
on
going
there.
to do all that stuff.
Well, we're going to talk smack about it when we see that you got the Jeep one.
Son,
If I don't see the Smoking Ape logo on that screen at the top,
I got some new stickers, but they're upstairs. But I got some new ape stickers. They're a little different than the
You
last
did?
ones. I did.
same logo though, right?
Same logo.
Okay.
What's different?
They're die cut, so they're not round.
Oh,
It's got to be a.
What's up,
It's got to
Bob?
be a tax expense, Bob. That's why he's got to do it on video.
Right.
Can't buy the
come
fancy
on
glass
screen.
cutting machine.
Ape's gonna have an eye patch next time he's on the screen.
Right. And a pirate scar too running down his cheek. Mistakes were made.
I'm a little quite impressed with myself. This was kind of a, adventure. Meanwhile, the fan's been broken and it's upstairs, and I've been needing to take it apart for 3 weeks, and I haven't done it yet. But it's a
Not
fan.
important. Not important.
Right.
Are you saying fans aren't important, Ape?
Bro, I've got more fans than the fan section at Home Depot. So I have 4 fans in the bedroom.
I was doing a play on words. Can't tell a ham a joke.
No, we're very literal.
Truly.
My best friend's fan on his nightstand is completely 100% occluded by dust, and I said, "Hey man, you want me to like clean that for you?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't. It's not for like wind. It's for noise." And I'm like, "Oh, so we're good."
I like it. I like it, Racky.
He's
So
like,
the,
"I'm
The
good."
smell of dust and the
Got the condom back on. I'm in business. son.
Man, look at that thing.
See, the problem is I can't have the cracked screen on there, and if I use it on a YouTube video, everybody's going to be like, "Son, you're all low rent on your video with the cracked screen." So I probably just fine like this, but I will look to put a new screen on there. Now I'm going to put it in a very safe spot.
Face down.
I can't get out of the way. It's just blinds. You could if you can't find a picture of blinds on the internet, I can't help you.
Marvin wants us to talk about fixing antennas. So let's talk a little bit about it.
Let's
So
talk
if
about it.
If somebody has a bad antenna, what do you do to diagnose it? What's the first thing?
The first thing is you talk to the customer, or you talk to the user. You find out what they got, how they got it hooked up, and as much information as you can pull out of them with the characteristics that they experience from the antenna.
And so what are the things that like you like what when I look at stuff like that, I look at corrosion on the SO239 connectors. Probably the first place I would start. And then another thing that happens is that the hole gets blowed out. You know what I'm saying? Like, so on your SO239 connector, that hole right there, that hole can get blowed out from people jamming stuff in there.
Sure can.
Right. So
Yeah, like a generously soldered PO
Right.
connector. Yeah.
Yup. So what you want to do is you kind of want to, a lot of times replacing just the antenna adapter, the connector is a good first step.
I got some high dollar SO connectors finally. $10 a piece. Yeah.
Instead
I mean,
of the
do
10,
they solder
the
themselves?
10 for
or-
10. No, they're
No.
silver. They're silver plated, right?
They are brass and with a nickel coating that's silver plated.
I forgot to put the
If
screws
that makes sense. But the key being is that they are not made of any kind of steel. They're a brass.
in. Did you get
What
them
a-
off of DX Engineering? Is that what the ones we were talking about?
They're Amadon, yeah.
Yeah. they're nice.
Amadon.
Yeah,
Not
well,
Amphenol.
Amphenol.
I'm sorry.
Amphenol.
Amphenol.
I mean,
Amadon.
he
Don't look up
seems smart-
Amadon, folks. I
He
No,
seems-
Amadon is the tow
can't
rod
tell you what
company.
that is.
He
Amadon's
seems
the tow rod
smarter than
company.
us, so I thought he just was talking about the LEAT kind of connector. I was like, I've never heard of that. I feel kind of dumb. So
Well, you still do, but I mean,
I told myself I would never spend $10 for an SO connector, and here we are.
look at you flexing the big money right there.
$10 on an SO connector and 75 ohm coax. What now? What?
That's right. That's right. Speaking of 75, Ape, you hooked any of that up yet?
I have not. I haven't done anything in the last month, practically.
Thanks,
I
Andy.
want to ask
Andy,
you.
what?
Thank you, Andy.
Thank you, Andy.
Thanks, Andy.
But
Andy's
also, like
all right.
the other thing is that a lot of times you can get in your. It's not even your antenna; it's your coaxial cable, right? From you get it's called travel when your center conductor goes through the dielectric and hits the
Right.
shield, right, and shorts your cable out.
Or even just comes close to the shield, yeah.
And then also repair work on the element, the element connections where they connect into the frame of the antenna.
Yeah.
A lot of times that can be problematic too.
In case you guys didn't see it in the chat.
Hey, thanks, Frank.
Solder
We can-
joints.
Ziggy,
are,
What a guy.
You're over the
one
live
of those
stream hurdle
things,
now.
too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the thing. If they're tarnished, if they're black and metal, then they're good. That's how you know you got a good one. If they're all shiny metal, then you don't have a good one.
Well, yeah. The thing is, like, I've had them that were actually like rust on them because
Rust
I'm
no
not real good about taping them up when they're reverse taping them up and all that stuff on the where everybody's like, you got to put the jelly on there. You got to reverse tape it. You got to retape it, invert tape it.
Isn't that what Callum does? Because he puts, I think he
Because
puts
you
the jelly on there,
amalgamating
Yeah.
tape.
and he uses
yeah.
electrical tape too. So I think he puts like electrical tape under the
this stuff right
self-amalgamating
here.
tape.
Yeah, I'm not making fun, but I just don't do all that stuff. I mean, I've got self-amalgamating tape and electric tape and all that stuff. But the thing is that I'm constantly switching everything out, and that would be if I had a full-time single antenna that was going to stay out there and never be touched, then I would do it. But I
Right.
don't, right? So it's just
Yeah.
if the end of the wire gets all janked, I just cut it off and put a new one on.
Ziggy, we got your first customer, son. Our friend Don, you talked to him on stream yesterday, N5SKT from Texas. He has an 80-meter 4-square, and he's pretty sure it's the Chrisman harness. Can't hear to the northeast. Will you pay to ship it? And you
If
said
you'll
earlier
pay-
you got pirate ship.
Yeah, if you'll pay to ship it back.
Oh, if you're going 50-50 on it.
He don't have that set up right now, does he?
Going-
ZiggyBuilds at
Dutch.
gmail.com.
You're right, Hertz.
No, he doesn't have it set up.
Wait a minute, what?
He doesn't have it set up right now because he just moved.
Oh, okay.
So now's the time to get it.
Now's
Yeah.
the time to get it.
Well, I'm like Ape. I don't tape a lot of mine because a lot of mine's
No,
I set
I don't
up and
tape any
tape
of mine.
down. But everything up on my tower is taped very well.
Hey,
So,
Abe, can you
because
share this real
I
quick
don't get
for
up there
me?
and take that stuff down.
I can. Give me 1 second.
All right. So when I was a young ham and we were putting up my 40-foot 2-meter, my Elmer came with like a whole crew of people. I couldn't believe it. It was really great. And one thing I'll always remember is my Elmer, just as cool as could be. He's about to put like the coax connection onto the antenna, and he pulls out like a little small container of KY jelly out of his pocket and gets a big old glob of that.
His
and
pocket,
goes,
2 fingers.
Wham!
This is
And
pocket jelly.
and just smashes this stuff in the SO and PL connector and sends it, and I'm just like, oh god, I don't know why that made me cringe so hard, but
See, that's going to be sweet tea like the good Lord invented.
No.
Happy summer. Have a tea on me. Thank you very much, Marvin.
Thanks,
you
Marvin.
go.
Appreciate it.
so
Thanks,
Marvin, you're
Marvin.
awesome.
what we're looking at here is a 9-to-1 that I have rebuilt.
This is
For my-
before, not after.
This is the after the rebuild.
Yeah.
My Elmer's got a 1500 watt amp, and he sends it all
Oh,
into this. He
burnt it.
sends every single watt of it into this single core 9-to-1.
That core even looks like it's got some corrosion on it.
Yeah, you can need some 12 gauge on that core.
So when I rebuilt it, I was using these 10 for 10 SO connectors, and there was no water intrusion, but you can see what happened. I mean, it just ran amok in here.
That's just humidity.
Yeah, I don't
That's
know.
that Florida heat, son.
That's that
It's not so much
Florida.
the heat, it's the humidity.
It's the heat.
Salt.
But he loves this thing to death. And anyway, we're making him another one. He loves it to death.
Do you have a before picture or an after picture?
I have a before picture, and it's not even recognizable. Like it looks like two different antennas. I'll have to dig for it. It's been quite some time. It's been over a year, but
right.
yeah. So the toroid has fallen forward, and it's all off to the side. So he's actually gotten it to the point where the copper has yielded.
Frank sent me a picture that he took the other day, and let me go ahead and save that one and put it up. And just being 100% honest, I did not catch it when he was showing it to me.
But that SO connector is trashed. Unbelievable. But so that's a
Give me
big thing
one
that
second.
that's a big thing that I do is I actually solder onto the SO connector. I don't rely on any kind of nut or bolt or anything like that.
And let me go to present, share screen,
Yeah, that
Winder.
Florida Salt. Yeah, it's not too nice to antennas.
And then here's Frank's. See if you can figure that one out. One of those works, one of those don't.
Whoa, where does the wire go?
Yep. It's missing a wire on the top one.
Nope.
The
it's
bottom one's
underneath. I can see it.
hilarious.
No, it's
the bottom
underneath.
one's hilarious. What's going on there?
So these are PAR end feds, and this has. Remember, I told you I bought the wrong vents. I bought those real small vents. That's the small vents that I bought. But anyhow, this is a PAR end fed. So this is the bottom one, the one that's problematic, and then that's the top one, the one that ain't.
Yeah, the one that one looks great.
And so what he was saying is that it would be working fine, and then SWR would go erratic on him. Now, he wasn't using the Smith chart to validate if it was which way it was going erratic, but that's okay. We won't pass judgment.
Man, that's a double core too.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Well,
7,
the way the wraps
16
are,
turns. 16.
well, the thing is that more of the turns are on the one side than on the other side, right? And so that's not really a problem, but it's kind of I don't like it. So that's what I was originally thinking. It was
Show the top
the
one.
number of windings.
Oh, I did them both.
But also
the same.
look at the twist here at how loose that one is, and then look at how tight the twist is on that one. So the
Well,
twisting,
for people that still do that.
right, like me. But see if you can figure that one out.
I've already got it figured out.
All right. Well, if everybody else taps out, then we can talk about it. Is anybody in the chat saying anything?
It's not ape
No,
approved.
not really.
All right. Right here.
Yep. 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 Yep.
So what
Oh,
was
flavor.
happening is that the primary was losing its connection to ground because the screw had backed out. So a little Loctite or something like that, or a lock washer would prohibit that. So that's a PAR end fed, and I don't know exactly what they cost. Maybe Jim can Google that real quick for us.
Yeah.
But originally, what I was telling him is that potentially he had a problem in the cap, and that you need to yank that cap off and test it and see what it was.
189.95.
$189 right there.
You can do it yourself with a Coffee and Ham Radios kit for $79.99.
But look at
While
all the
supplies
glue
last.
around the edges. So imagine the strife
Seal it.
getting that thing apart to take a look at it and fix. So that's one thing I hate is commercial antennas where they glue it shut, and in some cases, like Palomar Engineering,
Yes.
they spray them full of spray foam. So once you get them apart, you still can't look at you still can't service it. All antennas should be able to be completely tore down and disassembled, field stripped, for lack of a better word, because stuff does go bad, right?
Let's see the
I
top
mean, look
one
at this.
again.
They got this thing all glued down here. They even glued in the SO239 connector.
Nice antennas don't go bad.
Don, Jim would have a disagreement with you. I'm shocked that I have to tell you this.
Well, they're portable antennas.
They're not
we
designed
had-
as a
we had
UPH
somebody-
antenna, but it's been
But
outside.
somebody
Somebody at
does.
Huntsville tell us his was up for over a year and it looked the same as it did the day he put it out.
Yep.
But when I was looking at this, I never noticed that screw backed out.
Yeah.
Didn't catch it at all. And then Frank told me, and I was like, oh well, that. So it's a relatively easy fix if you can. But the thing is, getting a screwdriver in here to hold that screw in place, that ain't going to be easy. So you're going to have to use a pair of.
No,
Needle
you
nose.
just put two nuts, get the two nuts on the outside tight and
There's-
screw it back that way.
There's
It
more
might
to
be
this.
3 years now, 4-5.
There's more to this story, though, fellas. First of all, that cap there, it ain't blue.
You know, we in some of our early antennas, didn't we get yellow
No.
100
Probably.
picofarad?
In our test models, maybe.
The one that
Never.
came with my ARRL antenna was yellow. So it's not you're right, it's not an RF. It's not designed for RF.
However, that's only like a high frequency compensation cap anyway. So that aside, my next thing I'm seeing is I can't really figure out how we're attached to the SO. But so we go ground side SO, we go directly into the soldered eyelet here, where
Right.
all three are in there. So really, this is just our counterpoise lug, and electrically it's solid because we're leaving the SO going to this eyelet, triple soldered. You know, that should be okay. But the only thing I don't know is how are we? Because I know that this wire here, this little jumper, I know it's not soldered to that that SO connector. So there's something probably going on there.
You're talking
Yeah.
about right here.
Whatever that is. Yeah, there's probably an eyelet underneath that nut. Who knows? But the number one failure point I get on InFed customers is right there, right where the SO connector is trying to mate its ground connection. And people just throw an eyelet in a nut, call it a day, and think that they're good. But, metal oxidizes.
Right.
And you're
Did
gonna...
Frank might have soldered that.
Cap color don't
Right.
matter.
Well, so that is one of the problems that we see with Apollos and 49-to-1s in general is that the counterpoise lug is not correctly grounded here, right? So, which is where you're talking. This for $189, that ain't the best, cleanest connection. Well, 100%.
Right.
I've seen worse on a $250 antenna.
Well, it doesn't matter. But at that point, I agree with Ape. For as much money as that costs, that looks pretty sketchy.
Well, you shouldn't have to worry about the screw backing out, right? It should have a lock washer on it or
Yeah.
Loctite.
If they're going to seal it with glue, hell yeah.
Yes, yes. Jody, thank you for the 6 loony super chat.
Thanks, Jody.
666 loony super chat for Frank's Legal Defense Fund. Frank appreciates
Right.
it as well. Personally, I think we need to use the money to send Frank to thumbnail class. But that's
Tim, do you have one you could suggest? Oh, no, that's right.
Also, too,
I have
I'll
plenty I
have to
can
add
suggest.
that I can
TO's
just
School
look at
of
that.
Thumbnail.
I can just
Right.
look at that SO connector, and I can tell you that that is like the cheapest of the cheap because it's got the white center core, and
The one that melts when you solder it? Yeah.
correct, and it's also got the crown. So the high dollar SO connectors, they usually only have 4 notches in them.
put that picture back up.
Well, hold on. Calm
on,
your
man.
parts
Come
down.
on,
son.
we
gone.
weren't
It's
done.
gone.
We weren't
It's
done.
Calm your
Ziggy-
hand parts.
Ziggy was still talking, son. Come on.
Hold on. I told you.
I can't show it, but
There you go.
Lord.
That's
oh hey, all right.
it looks
Naked.
like Frank has been doing some repair work here.
That's one way
Probably
to
took
do
it
it.
out.
Well,
And he still didn't fix the screw. That was a lot of work to leave that screw backed out.
Well, he's still working. But the
working on
one
it.
thing that's interesting about this is that this is a actual lock nut.
Nylock. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
it's an insulated nut.
It's not insulated.
Right. Well,
You're
the thing
right.
is-
It's not. It's not. Oh yeah, it
No.
catches thread. It catches
it's
thread on the back
kinda-
half.
It's metal on
It's
the
kinda
inside.
not,
Just the
it
end of
kinda
it's
is,
not.
But that's
Yeah.
not the part that matters.
Yeah, that's true. My question is
It still has metal threads.
it does. You're right.
well, it's holding it against the plate, right? And so that's really
That's all you get though.
right. I would agree. But see, I don't know if this is a resolder job or not, or if that's the way we'll have to wait for Frank. He hasn't done any repair work.
He hasn't done it. He hasn't done it yet.
So they soldered
took it
that
out.
into the pin like that.
We're gonna start that channel ape. The hams dumping on hams.
might have to. I think Frank will have to use these videos, these pictures for that channel. But yeah, I mean that's it. But the biggest thing about it is just disappointing that you spend that kind of money for an antenna and you have that kind of problem with it.
Oh, Chris, I like it. Chris has a point. We're looking at probably $20 in materials, and this is $189. This is not the quality of car antennas.
Well,
no,
the-
because you make the car antennas, so it's as good as you can solder, except for Frank. That
That's,
kind of devalued our kits. But
That's that lawyer speak.
that does not look like it was factory produced. That looks like somebody's Mimi has a side job at the antenna factory soldering stuff together.
I don't understand.
Who knows?
And this is a different Frank though. This isn't our buddy Wilderness Frank.
I know, but I was just making fun of that Frank.
And does
This is-
anybody
these
see
pictures
that
are
crack
from-
on that leg?
Yeah, they are from Frank.
Go
Right
up
here-
with
From
that.
that Frank?
No,
Right there?
no. The
Where?
capacitor, the lower portion of the capacitor.
Right there.
See that crack? See it?
Yep.
Oh, snap.
So one of the things about capacitors, so you have to be super careful with these things because there's very thin ceramic in here.
And you can tell that thing got torqued because look at that hard
Right,
angle,
and-
that
and so when-
zigzag
and-
right there.
And so when you bend these legs, because
That's
the
two
legs go,
zigzags.
you run the risk of
Yep.
cracking the capacitor. So yeah,
And a Colt 45 and two zigzags.
Jacked up the dielectric inside at the very least if you didn't crack it wide open.
So what we will do for you, Frank, is if you're really going to repair this, is that we will drop one of our new TKD RF capacitors in an envelope and mail it to you.
Frank,
free-
send it to me.
Yeah, there you
I'll
go.
rebuild
Send
it for you.
Send it to Ziggy.
Yep, I'll gut it and rebuild it for you.
Go
Guaranteed
back,
to work.
go back to that last picture, Ape.
Hold on a
Mixture.
second.
I'm gonna have to rebox it, obviously. But I've got boxes. I got a whole lot of boxes.
Because you stole them off from underneath the ape, yeah.
I got them. No, I didn't
No,
steal.
no.
it.
Dude, I've got more than I need.
on that bottom picture, and it may be the angle of the picture, but look at the SO. That thing is not sticking out very far out of the case. So on a lot of SO PL
So that's a great
connectors, you're-
point.
You're not going to
Yeah.
get a connection worth of crap. The nipple may not touch the
They-
RAM won't
They
touch
mounted
the
it
wall.
backwards. They mounted it backwards.
Well,
Well,
look at
that's
this.
how
jan-
I
look
mount
at-
my stuff.
Yeah, look at this.
Put the
jank
inside on
here
the
Oh
outside?
yeah,
Yeah.
Well,
And that
But-
hole.
So what I wanted to point out to everybody is look at the very beginning of the SO on the right. See how it's a notch right next to a notch, right next to a notch, right next to a notch. That is a
don't-
pinnacle sign. Yeah, the crown. That is a pinnacle sign of a low quality SO.
that it gets all the deformation on the teeth.
No. The number of
There
teeth
are so many of them. Yeah.
Those
right.
are so many teeth.
should be 4,
Wow, I feel
not 44.
I'm gonna have to look at all mine now. I may throw some
Yeah,
out
mine have
before
a
I
whole
ever
mess
let
of them.
Ziggy. Before I ever let Ziggy come over here and look at any of mine.
I'm gonna throw it all away, Jim.
And,
Well,
and he's in
on the
Florida,
ones
so
on
like he
my
could drive up here in half a day.
my super sexy directional coupler that I homebrewed, 4 notches.
But look at that connector. That thing is like halfway out. And yes,
Can't
T.O., it's in backwards
Properly
too.
do this.
Well, the thing is also they got all this goop and shit in here.
Hang on. Ziggy wants to show something.
I
hold on.
can't do this properly. Anyway, there's 4. There's 4 teeth on that one.
I'll be damned.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be dipped.
I probably will be, but I don't really care.
Um,
Let's see if I got one. I don't have any in here. Nope.
Anyway, it's not the end all, and I'm sure that there are some connectors out there that are crowned that have high quality material. I haven't seen any.
Ape, check out the one. I just
Yeah,
sent you.
I got it.
We won't say
That's
who.
a well-known
who's-
company too. Yeah.
Yeah, we won't say what the well-known company is. You guys
Oh
can
Lord,
figure it
I
on your
bet I
own.
know which one this is.
I've
Hey,
got
send
0
it to me.
problem.
Send it to me.
Hold on a second. I've got 0 problem saying it.
Show it. Send it.
Show it. Send it. Full
Whip
send.
it out. Whip it out, son.
We're going into overtime now.
Some
Hold
of
on
us
a
gonna have
second.
to make water pretty soon too.
Oh, we're running over, so we'll do this
Give me
one
a
real quick.
cigarette.
It's overtime.
Overtime.
It's ultra time.
I'm out of beverage and I need a smoke.
Is
Need a new Pope.
is Kyle streaming?
I don't know.
Jim, for the longest time, I thought you smoking was just some kind of joke until I saw you
It
smoking
is.
a cigarette.
Bam!
No, I smoke. I don't smoke Newports. That's an ape thing. up
Okay,
from-
so it's not Newports. Okay.
No, God, no. I've smoked Newports. I had a buddy in the Air Force that smoked Newports. I can't stand them.
So it gets cut off, so I don't have the whatever the problem is on this one. But this is an MPOS from Gecko Antennas.
Well, look right there. There's the problem.
That's
You
the
look at
problem.
that. Oh,
I mean, I got a clue that it's the big red circle is the problem.
why wouldn't they just put a little itty bitty piece of heat shrink on that, and then it's no problem?
Yeah.
Stream relief.
And this antenna is like what, 250, 235, something like that.
250 for that part.
Lordy.
If it's the bigger, I don't think that's the bigger one. It might be a little bit less, like 200.
I thought we were talking about SO connectors. Here, this is some particular part of a specific antenna. Look at that impedance transformer it's got.
So that's a
That's
5-to-1. But
5 to 1,
that's
yeah.
that's almost exactly that's the same form factor, different winding, what they use in amplifiers.
So what are we doing with this? This is part of the antenna.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
this
this
is
is
the
the
5-to-1,
matching
5-to-1 on, and then we unfortunately don't have the whole picture. But this one was problematic.
Man.
What's the other circle at the top right all about?
I don't know. I can't.
It's like the
look
other-
at this
Oh,
multimeter
hey.
mania.
Oh, next
I'm gonna
pictures-
close that window before I click on a picture that I don't want everybody to see.
Yeah, Mrs. Ape's pictures or
Little
You
late.
know, maybe a
Cupcakes.
picture of my rig or something like that. I don't want that
well,
getting
we
out
don't
on the
want to see
internet.
anybody. Well, we don't want to see that. Zig, I got an antenna. Are you going to be at Huntsville? Are you coming to Huntsville?
Man, I'm so wait. Oh, Alabama.
Yeah.
Yes. Next
Kind of a
month.
stretch.
Bring the kids.
Kind
It's a
of
family
kind of-
affair.
No, it doesn't work like that. she's a nurse, and I'm over here just trying to make bills. So I don't see that in the cards.
Oh, you're big YouTube famous now. You got 100 subs. You're raking in the dough.
Well, I got an antenna I would love for you to mess with because I think it's a flaming turd for $500. But man, I don't want to ship it. It's going to cost me.
Oh, you're talking about the
Guess
Well,
which one?
I'll tell you what, Jim.
I only
If
see
you can,
74.
Jim, if you can box that thing up any way possible, And if you just send me no, listen. If you just send me the dimensions and the weight, I'll send you a ticket.
I'm not worried about paying for it. It'll be a pain in the ass because it does weigh a chunk.
Well, I did ship something the other day that was 40 pounds for
actually,
about $30.
I will not send the tripod that goes with it. You'll have to rig
My word,
a
there's a
mount system.
There's a tripod that goes with this.
Yeah, big honker.
Is this like
Yeah,
a
if you just
multi-band vertical random kind of
Yeah, don't
contraption?
send the tripod.
It is.
What is
Multi-band
it?
vertical.
Multi-band vertical. Is
With
it
a-
All tripoded up.
is
with
it
a giant
27?
matching unit.
Is it 27 feet long?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I can't measure.
Okay.
I mean, that's 12 inches right there, son. So I don't know. Yeah, it's like 30, 40, 50 feet long for all I know.
Good thing this is Thursday night, boys.
Well, and we're
I'm
in
all
overtime.
about it, man.
So
Send it.
We're
We'll-
in
we'll-
overtime.
We'll figure out how to send it.
I'll
I'll
coming up.
do a video on it, and if I gotta fix it, I'm gonna put the squeeze on it.
It's a Alpha FMJ. I don't care. I paid for it. I'll say what the hell I want.
That's right.
Even if you
And-
didn't pay for it. Jim
No,
don't lie.
I paid
People,
for it.
Don't lie.
some people love that antenna, but I think it's
Well,
because they've never used something different.
I bought it because I
They've
saw
gone up in price quite a bit.
Our tall YouTube friend, when he was not working for the ARRL, got one from ICOM for his Padawans. And I'm like, if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me, because he's like a big time YouTuber. That's awesome.
That's the
I'm not
first mistake.
blaming, I'm not
Don't
blaming
ever
him.
listen.
He got it for free. He got it for free, so I'm not blaming him at all.
Yeah, I almost bought one when he did because he was saying it was killing it. So I almost bought
Well,
one.
and I saw his videos, and they were out there. Looks like they were tearing it up. And I bought
Okay.
this thing, and it has been nothing but a huge disappointment.
Whenever I see anything that says 6 through 80, right there.
Right, it's
Man,
generally-
Ziggy, I was
Right
a new
there.
ham, and I saw it on YouTube. Man, I mean,
you got to remember Jim's a COVID ham. No offense to any COVID
no,
hams
I
in
am
the
not
chat.
a
We
COVID
love
ham.
all.
I
We
am
love all the
pre-COVID.
COVID hams.
I am pre-COVID.
By like a week.
Well, if
No,
you
like a
believe the
year.
mainstream media, you're pre-COVID.
No, if you believe me, I had COVID in 2020 in January. Before
Well, it's called
COVID was a
it's
thing.
called the COVID's-19.
You know,
And
that's
had-
funny. I never
my
got
ham
COVID
license
until I
came
left the
before
hospital.
COVID. My COVID came before. My ham license came before COVID.
We need to get this show on the road, but the thing is that they call the new strain of COVIDs the flirt COVIDs.
Somebody got to pee, is what that
Well,
is.
when
We
I'm
need to
and I'm
get this
saying,
show on the
well,
road.
is that make it an STD if you know what I mean?
Right.
If it's the flirt, like how do you get this one? Catching this one might not be so bad. You know what I mean? I don't know what the exact side effects are though.
What you doing over there, Chuck?
Huh?
Looking at
Who, me?
your website,
Oh, what? My channel?
your channel.
Yeah. Got one short and one
Counting them-
video.
I'm counting them as they go up.
Are they really going up? That's pretty.
Oh, yeah.
pretty
Fellas,
awesome.
thank you very much for watching. Send Ziggy your antenna, ziggybuilds@gmail.com. And then
Thanks,
coming
all.
to a stream near you. I'm hitting the button 73. Have a good weekend.
Do it.
See you guys.
Later, all. Thank you for
Later.
being here.